Lesson 1.3, Video 2. So let's look at a literal equation and see how we can solve for one of the unknowns. So here we have A equals BH, and they want us to solve that equation for H. Right now it's solved for A, and we want to solve it for H. So we have to look at what algebra is occurring. And case in point here is that you have B times H. So if we want to get H alone, we have to remember how we undo a times. So we would divide both sides by what we don't want, which is the B, which would give us A over B equals H. So we solve this literal equation for H. Another one, three variables. You have a relationship of R times T. So how do you undo times? Again, this one is solved for D, and they want us to solve for R. So we would undo the times by division. So we want to solve for R, so we want to move the T. So our R will equal D over T, and that's a literal equation solved for the R instead. In the next one, we have C equals 2 pi R. So in this case, we really only have two variables. We have the C and we have the R. Pi is 3.14, so it's a symbol, but not a variable. And we want to solve that for R. So we will look at the relationship, and it's 2 times pi times R. So how do we undo that? Again, opposite of multiplication is division. So we'll divide both sides by what we don't want. And since everything is being multiplied, this actually can be done in one step. I can divide both sides by 2 pi, and that will give us R equals C over 2 pi, and that is the literal equation solved for R. In the next one, we have two variables again, and we want to solve for the M. So this is what we want to get alone. So we have 4 times M. We know how to undo multiplication, but in this particular case we have minus 3n that has to be moved also. So our order of operations for solving for a variable is to add and subtract first. So I will move the 3n to the other side, which will give us 4m equals 8 plus 3n. They are unlike terms, so that's the best we can do with that. To separate the 4 and the m, we will divide both sides by 4, which gives us m equals, and you can leave it like this, or you can write it as 8 over 4, which is 2, plus 3n over 4. My point to this is you can write it as this fraction and be done, or if you decide to simplify it, you have to remember that the denominator is dividing the 8 and it's also dividing the 3n. So both of these are considered correct. And this ends Lesson 1.3, Video 2.